Hey, babies. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How are y'all doing? Let me put a little on the lip. Make sure she's juicy for y'all. Because you know I like the juice and the shade. So, we have Miss Destiny. Everyone knows who Destiny is that follows Samantha Jones. She's going to come on. She's here. Y'all see that bust down the middle of her natural hair. Do you see the structure and the soft pussy that she has maintained? Yes. Very, 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 very structured and pussy. We have Miss. Hold up.
You know I had to put the shades on. This juicy shade. It's juicy shade. Y'all know I had to put the shades on for just a few minutes.
Oh.
Jaguar Evermore. Y'all know Jaguar Evermore Transylvania from Transylvania. If you don't know, now you know. How you all doing today? Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Hey, and y'all know, y'all listen. This is the mode I'm in. You know, I'm ready to step out and put some shit in order and show some hope.
Yeah.
It's time for the tour I was talking about of performers, artists, people with
Talent.
Anyway.
Oh yes, Courtney. This is the after show.
Hey, baby. Hey. So I have Destiny here, and Destiny and I originally began speaking when she was still up north. There was a lot that had went on, and Destiny had kicked in the door, and I was like, "Damn, what's going on?" I didn't know what had happened. I sent Cookie some money, and then we talked. Then I spoke to Destiny, and she came to Atlanta on her own accord, doing her own thing, visiting her family, and doing what she does as a boss bitch. Okay, let's be clear. She made a nice purchase from the beauty club.
We're going to keep that on the hush, honey.
Oh, I'm just letting it be known how grown women do, the what type of bitches that I'm accustomed to.
But I am going to say, I have to thank you, Miss Liz, because in the beginning, I had my reservations about you. I'm going to be very honest. We're going to keep it real 100%. I had my reservations because of the way things went down. And I didn't have the full story. And once I got a chance to actually meet you, I got a whole different impression of who you are. Like what people don't realize is that Miss Liz, she is not like this evil villain that she's been made out to be. She's really I'm not gonna say a sweetheart because a lot of people might take that and run with it. I'm gonna say she's a sweet tart. Because a tart can be sour and sweet, honey. But she has a very good heart, and I said that in the beginning when I first met her. Me and Samantha, after when we first reunited after a long time, we was joking around and stuff, and she chimed in, and that shit went viral. And I didn't even know Samantha had me on the camera at all, but I just ran with the shit. So, but Liz was cool all the way from day one. She let me know that she's not no punk bitch, and she will pull up, and I respected her for that, and she respected me also for being, a woman of my word. When I met Miss Liz, she was like totally the opposite of what I thought she was. She's really I don't want people to take this and run with it, but she's really a nice lady, and she's not a bad lady. She's not a bad person at all. She's a very resourceful woman, and she's about her business. She's a professional businesswoman at the end of the day, and I told Samantha to go to Atlanta. She was doing so bad in Philadelphia. She had so many multiple outbursts and stuff like that. And I was like, girl, I think you should go and give it a shot. Like they're going to help you find your place. They're going to make sure you don't crack up all your money. They're going to pretty much look out for you, help you do your show. I think that'll be the best bet for you because you pretty much done burned all your bridges up north, like with all like just going back and forth. It was just a mess. Then when she had the Brady Bunch bricks or whatever, that was kind of scary, because it was so many people around her and she was telling so many people her business about the money and stuff like that. We all witnessed her going live telling. It's like when people around you that are hustling, like you can't just be going out there just putting your business out there like that. So, I always told her to try to keep things to herself. Stop putting your business out there. Keep this one to yourself. And she told me the first day that Liz let her know, look, girl, your check came, everything came through. And she was like, what should I do, Destiny? And I was a little cautious because I didn't know Miss Liz. So I was like, you know, um, I told her just to make sure she do her investigation on her own. Nobody could do that for her. And to keep it to herself. Don't go on social media and just, go ahead and do your own independent investigation. She wanted me to help her call the place and backtrack and stuff like that. And I was like, I didn't give her no answer. So this was the last day of taping for episode 10. And she pretty much was like, I told her just to keep it to herself. She got drunk. She went and told Jamila, which is her best friend, from the door about the whole situation. And it's like she just pretty much just like she blurted it on her live and everything. Like she didn't keep nothing like under wraps and did things properly like anybody else would that had this type of money, coming. And it was like a third party that actually like filed the claim just like a lawyer would file it. And she just did things the wrong way. She still never made not one phone call herself. She asked Jamila to call. She asked me to call, and I declined because I'm like, I'm not you. You can call. Like, why don't you call and check and see what's going on? If you feel as though that this is not legit, why don't you go ahead and check and see what's going on? So she said, okay, she's going to do that. So a few days went by and stuff like that, and she was like, "Well, Liz has a paper for me to sign." And mind you, guys, I don't know Liz at all. I'm still going by what I was told by Samantha as far as her just being this evil villain and stuff like that. I'm not paying attention to what people are saying online because, like, everybody got their own different opinions behind them keyboards. They got their own little fake profiles that they hide behind or whatever. And Cookie, she does have some people that really rock with her that are normal. I can say that. But it was just a lot. Samantha, she didn't really she was just going back and forth, back and forth. So let me speed up to the day she actually told me that she did not sign anything. I was like, did you sign anything yet? Because I was telling her, just hold off on the signing until you call and make sure everything's legit. So during this whole process, I didn't know that she already had signed already because I was reaching out to Miss Liz just, as a friend and just to see like what's going on. Is this, legit, like what's going on or whatever. So I found out later on down the line that she had already signed when she was already getting me and Jamila to look into everything that she already had signed. And she produced her ID, and I asked her, I was like, did you sign anything or whatever? And she just kept saying she didn't sign anything. She didn't sign anything. But when I actually came to Atlanta and I actually met with Liz and stuff like that and started to talk to her and she let me know what was going on. She was like, yeah, she sent over the ID and she already signed everything and she already know what's going on. So I'm like, okay. It's like, okay, it is what it is. Like, that's what it is. So I'm like, Samantha, are you okay with what's going on? She was like, yeah, I want to do my show. I want to film and I want to go down there and I want to film and get my show done. That's all she was really concerned about. But when I spoke with Miss Liz and asked what her intentions were, she pretty much was like, I don't want her to take this money and crack it up. I want to make sure she does right. And I want to finish my job that I completed with her. And I want to see her in a place. I want to actually see her move into her apartment and I want to see her succeed. I am upset with her about the things that she said about me and my family and stuff like that, but I'm still willing to, help her out. And I seen and I stayed. I came down there pretty much to look out for Samantha. I have family there. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I came to visit my family, but I also came down there to look after Samantha to make sure she was okay. And I know Samantha's been through a lot with a lot of people, like as far as like not trusting people and just, she's been through a lot, but she's not no angel. She showed me how disloyal she was on like the last day of the taping. She pretty much got drunk and told me she was getting high every day in that room. And, she just flat out just like it was like a big smack in the face after all I've done for her. And she keeps claiming that, oh, I invited you on my show. I begged to go on the show. I never begged her to go on the show. I was actually asked by Jamila, which was her manager at the time, to co-host with the show. I didn't want to talk about my book on Samantha's platform not one time. When we first had our meeting, I
Why?
was like, because I didn't like what her I didn't want my I didn't want like anything pertaining to my book or anything on that platform. And when I was reading her a couple of chapters when we had our first meeting, she had me on her live, and I had no idea that she had me on her live until I looked on her page and I seen the negative, nasty comments about my mother because my mother's in this book. This talks about my mother's addiction. It talks about a lot of things, my transition, like
So
things that happened.
you read quite a few pages before you knew that she was actually um, live on a social media platform.
Yeah, if you go to her Samantha Revlon page, it's
Mhm.
all there. Like you just have to scroll. I guess it was like in February, and when I
Now, I
realized,
remember when you guys first met up. I remember seeing you, and I remember knowing, notating who you were. And then I found out that you had got her the room in Jersey. So that in itself, it was like, okay, well, I can orchestrate with her because she clearly is a woman of couth, of some merit. You understand? There are things that you recognize in other people, and that was something that I was like, okay, bam. So that is why I felt open to you. She put a lot of things into the play, but I am, quite a swift fox. So I'll test you. I'll test you, and I know how to understand what's going on with the situation, whether it's in the streets or the border.
Mm.
Get into that. Um, so Jaguar, I'm just been sitting. I'm sorry, sis. I got you over there sitting looking soft.
I'm just listening to the backstory. It's good to know where somebody's going when you know where they've been.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
And so
You,
with Destiny, I was quite surprised. First of all, I'll tell y'all this. This is a fact that I give
mhm.
Miss Destiny. I don't give this to too many girls. So appreciate it. Um, I would have thought Destiny was in her 20s. So that showed her youth and her beauty in itself.
oh, thank you very much.
Okay. Coming upon her, I realized that she's just very much like another young lady that I know. She's a hustler, she's true to her word, and she handled it better than a lot of grown men and women. She would,
Mm.
she would be in the elite of hustlers. I don't
Thank you.
put, I don't put a
I
lot of
put you
people
in the
there.
same category.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'll leave it there, but I understand. That's queendom in
Mhm.
itself. And so when you have an atrocity and a vagabond like Samantha Samuel, sour cream and onion, sour puss, broils and spoils and spoils and broils, and want niggas to shit on her. That's some shit.
Mm.
Damn. I mean, damn. How do you get past that? But anyway, we're gonna go on back. Destiny is a beautiful heart. And the fact that the girls who are rare are mistreated by a sociopath And then we have to come together and defend ourselves against this sociopath is annoying. We can be doing so much together. And that's what us as a black community and as people need to understand. Um, I'm a bitch. I am. Oh yeah. And you're gonna pay me like you weigh times two for my time. And that's just period. That's what we
And I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to reiterate because I was telling you about my best friend that kind of make me soft to you because I was really, really skeptical, just based on just what I was told and things of that nature. And my best friend, she pretty much like broke it down to me. She's a lot younger than me. She's my little sister. She was like, I like Miss Liz. She's a classy lady. And when Samantha was down there. She grew up with Samantha. They come from West, like they grew up together. She knows all about Samantha and everything. And she was like, they had her looking good. And you got to think about this, Destiny. Liz actually let her in her home and she didn't even know her. She let her come where her family was and her personal space. So she can't be that bad of a person. And when I thought about it, I said, wait a minute, she did let her into her home and stuff. She gave her clothing. Like she did everything that I did for her. We realized that we had a lot in common. We had a lot in common as far as like the way we look out for people, all the way down to the panties
your
and bras
blessings. You
and
got to get
everything.
back to
Like we are
your
just
blessings back.
yes. So it's like we really look out for ours. Like if we like somebody, we put 100% into it. And unfortunately, we meet people that take our kindness for weakness. And Samantha, me and her wasn't as close as me and like her and Jamila was, but we go back 20 plus years, and we've been around each other enough to know each other, how we move and stuff like that. Like it's like people do change over the years. And when she was keeping in contact with me, when she moved from out of Philadelphia, when she was in Atlanta, the last time I spoke with her was probably like 12 years ago, and she was in her addiction very bad, and we were talking every day, and all of a sudden she just ended up missing for like 2 weeks. Then I started speaking to family members, and I was so concerned about her. I'll never forget how concerned I had just lost my second husband of mine that I had just lost. He was robbed. He was murdered. So I dealt with actually three of my husbands being murdered and stuff.
Mm-mm.
They were gangsters. They was out in them streets and they died out in them streets. And they died like true kings at the end of the day. Someone tried to rob him. He was like, you know what? Shoot me. That's the type of nigga he was at the end of the day. So I it's like I grew up in the streets and it's like I attracted those kind of guys. I've moved on from them type of people. But Samantha, when she reconnected with me, I was dealing with the death of my husband. And with her being missing, her family had me thinking that she was dead because it was like she walked in the woods with someone, she never appeared, and they thought she was dead. So then 2 weeks later, she just calls me out of the blue and sounding crazy, just talking all types of foolishness, talking about the guys that trying to give her A's in her ass and all types of stuff. And it's like I had to cut her off
Hi.
because I'm like, wait, excuse my language, I'm so sorry. I had to like cut her. I couldn't deal with that because just the feeling of her being so unstable and me going through what I was going through, I was like, I don't want to go through this again with her because I really thought something like she was dead. But fast forward to now, with all these times where she go missing and everyone's looking for her, like in Atlanta when she was missing for 4 days and stuff like that. Even though she had read this shit out of Jamila, Jamila still called me and like, what's going on with Cookie? And when I first came to Atlanta, everybody seen what happened. Like everything was fine. I actually went with her, came and picked her up. She was happy to see me, glad that I came down. She kept calling me, when are you coming down? Are you still coming down? And I'm like, yeah, I'm coming down. I actually drove down at nighttime in the rain, not just to see my family, but just to make sure she was okay, just in case Liz and them wasn't legit. I was going to be there for her as a girlfriend. That's just how it was before I even met Liz. My whole intention was like, I'm gonna make sure Samantha's all right while she's down here. You feel me? So
Was she all right on
she
Liz's behalf?
she was more than all right. You guys, you had all her stuff in her room. Y'all had a room decorated nice for her. Y'all had food for her. Y'all had everything she needed, clothing. She had everything. Y'all had got her a phone. Y'all did everything that y'all said y'all was going to do on y'all's part. But unfortunately, like that's the first night of her being there. The second night of her being there, it's like I go pick her up. You guys were filming in Piedmont Park for her foo segment. That's when she started getting drunk. We went to the corner store. She seen a drug dealer. She went and copped crack right in front of me.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That the same day?
The same day, so it's like I'm watching
After
her.
I went home, y'all hoes ain't shit. Go
No,
on.
I'm watching her what she's doing, and I'm like, Samantha, what are you doing?
Oh, I dropped the hoe off to you, yeah, because you rolled up at the IKEA. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so she did
Talk about
that. I
y'all
didn't say
got
nothing.
Samantha. Yeah, I
No,
had saw you from the. Yeah, I had saw you.
No, I
Mhm.
watched Samantha do a lot. Like every day, she was buying her drugs, and I don't judge
Hello,
people. I can like she would always tell me I'm grown. I was like, hey,
hello,
I never tried to
huh?
like. I always told her, look, I don't approve of what you're doing, but I can't stop you. I can't stop you, but I would advise you not to do that because you know how this is going to turn out. But she never wanted help. Like that last 10th episode, it was an intervention. We all came together and we wanted her to get into a rehab, and she refused to go to a rehab. She just refused treatment. We wasn't enabling her. We was pretty much like, look, Samantha, you got to get it together. Like next week, we wasn't canceling. The show wasn't being canceled. We was like, next week we can start filming again. But since Marcus took her back the second time, his whole thing is this time I need a contract because y'all all witnessed how she dogged him out the first time. So he was willing to do it again. And she actually asked him, please, she realized that she could not do it on her own. We tried. And it's like, it was hard for me working with her just as a friend. Everyone witnessed that. And the only one that stopped her from having a successful show is her because Marcus even said the backdrop is right and everything is right. She just need a tripod for her camera. And that's it. He even said that. Like everything was fine, but everyone witnessed how it took her like 10 hours to try to even complete a taping of her show. Like it was like going in the bathroom, getting high, getting drunk, like playing in the mirror. Like I'm like, what are you doing? Everyone witnessed that, and I'm with her trying to help her out.
Well,
I
those are the shenanigans that I had no tolerance or patience for. When she was here, it was very interesting. I will tell you the truth, because I don't, I don't go in my purse. And honey, I took her out and it was time to go get ready for the show. And what you can always tell about it, what you always know about a bad bitch will never be dependent upon or ask another bitch for their bad bitch image. So I took her to the West End, and she found a cat suit. Okay, and what else do you want to do? What else do you want to do? And I said, well, girl, you don't have no pearls, no coins. And that's not to say that she didn't have, whatever situation she may have been in, but what are you going to invest into who you are and what you represent? I'm looking to see what your specialty is. Understand? Your eyelashes, your eyebrows, your look. What are you bringing to the table of your effigy? And there was nothing there.
And you know what upsets me when I hear her say I never done nothing for her? I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Samantha, she only provided two outfits for all of the tapings of her shows. And let me shout out to Jamila because if it wasn't for Jamila is the one who introduced her to Marcus so she could even have a show. Jamila got her together for the first show. I donated the wig, the dress, the shoes, everything. Jamila got the makeup artist. She even paid Marcus. Samantha only gave up Marcus $100 out of all nine of those tapings. $100 out of her pocket and probably 150 that her and Marcus split it for like Sister
Oh,
Regina's sponsorship, and that's it. She didn't donate no money towards all those wigs that you see. Those were all, some of them were new that I purchased, and the clothes were all new. That was all supplied by me. So for her saying that she invited me on her show and I begged her to go on her show, that is a complete lie. I had Marcus edit out so much when I was on that show. I didn't want the name of my book to be on that show. She brought it up, like, why don't you talk about your book and stuff like that? I didn't even really want to even I didn't put my name of my book out there. I didn't plan on doing that. But all the people that know me know that I have a page already with the name of my book, and all my girlfriends are getting their leather book cover copies next month and everything. They're going to get first dibs when my book's released. Like, I didn't want to be on that platform because I noticed how negative it was, and I seen what type of people were on her platform. And you know, one thing that really upset me about Samantha, she never stood up for me not one time, and I stood up for her multiple times against those trolls. I took 2 days blocking some of those trolls that was just there. Just I seen how they were tearing at her, and I seen how it took a toll on her. Like, it was
Really?
physically, the way her fans roast her, even in her
Her
sleep, it was taking a toll on her, and I noticed that just for me being around her. And it's like she told me, she said, "Girl, when I'm normal, I don't get no views. The only time I get views is when I'm high or doing something fucked up. That's the only time they pay me any attention." So it's like she
And
was
I'm gonna
purposely
stop.
getting
I want to
drunk.
stop you right there because I can say this, and I have spoken to people that have said exactly what you just said. And at the end of the day, people remember a person that is a human being and try and support them even after you have gotten your pleasure, especially in this type of situation. Check yourself. Go ahead, Destiny.
So I'm like, okay, I'm helping her out with the show. I was donating money to her because a mutual friend of ours, she was like, you know what? I send her money sometimes, and
Oh,
she
and so wait a minute, just one second. I'm sorry, Destiny. And I see that there is a $20 super chat from CJB23. Cool. Thank you, Tom. Go ahead, sis.
So I was like, okay, well, I feel like I should send her some money too. So how this all started was I was sending her like $100, $200 a week. I felt bad for her. I was like, damn, she don't got nowhere to go. She's sleeping in this shelter with men. In a men's shelter. They didn't have her in a women's shelter. They had her in a men's shelter. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. She just got out of jail. It's like she was back in jail a second time. So I'm like, if I'm helping her get ready for this show and I'm having her all dialed up every week, she was looking so forward to every week getting dialed up for that show. Like, she lived for that taping of that show, but she always showed up late, never prepared, not shaved, not groomed, not an outfit. She couldn't even at least get her nails done or anything. It's like everything had to be supplied. She didn't put no effort in her look but 2 times, and it was a fail those 2 times. Like, it was crazy. So when I hear her talking crap about me, saying that I was jealous of her, if I'm jealous of you, why am I going to make you look good, put money in your pocket, put a roof over your head? Like, what jealous person
Because
does
what
that?
people don't understand is that women like ourselves, we have been through the strive. We have been there. We have seen things. And at some point in our life, we have gotten to a grown woman stance. And we would like to be able to know within our soul when we rest easy on that day before we go that we gave that. And that was an individual. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but that is an individual that brings that type of energy out of you. Being a woman of our caliber.
So it was, my whole thing is, now I agree with you 100%, Miss Liz. It was like I seen the ungratefulness and stuff like that. And it's like she was constantly, I didn't want to, like, you know what, I made a decision today. Like, I'm not going to, and I called her and told her, I said, you know what, Samantha? Like, I'm not going to beat up you. I'm not going to do nothing to you. I don't know why you're lying on me, saying that I have insurance policy on you, saying that I'm going to attack you. Like, all this stuff is made up to get a reaction out of me. At the end of the day, like, she does a lot of strategic things, like for pokes A lot of shit is staged, and I'm just keeping it real with you guys. Like, she knows what she's doing. She purposely does
A
not
lot of
spend
stuff is
her
what?
money. A lot of things were staged, and I'm not even going to hold you. She
They were what?
purposely
One more
just
time. I just want to clarify. A lot of things were what?
staged, and I've helped girls out before, and I'll never mention their names. But I'm a very good actress. But when it comes to being your friend, I'm not an actress. Like, it was all real. She was the only one playing the part of playing a friend when she really wasn't a friend. She was going back and forth.
An
You know,
addict.
friends.
Addict. An addict.
Yes, friends, they do vent about each other, but she was just making up things amongst her circle. Like, you got all these people in
So
your
I'm going to
corner.
step in here for a minute, Destiny, because we're reaching time punch lines
Oh,
where
I'm
we have to
sorry.
punch in for time. We have taken, we've observed. I'm going to let Jaguar close it out, and I'll come back to you. And I thank you,
Okay.
gorgeous. And once again, honey, your hair is lovely in this picture. I love the structure and the movement.
Thank you.
Do you want to announce the name of the book so that you can promote it and actually give it out to individuals? I think we have individuals here, especially from my page, that would love to understand and know the type of knowledge and wisdom that you have to share.
Okay, it's called I don't it's called The Story of True Survival, and I will be posting, like, when it's released next month. I will post it on my social media. It's like it's already pretty much sold, to be honest with you, no shade. Like, I don't need anybody to sell my books. Like, I did this shit independent all on my own, like most independent people do. It took me like a couple of years to write the book because I had writer's block a few times. I had to actually edit some people out that did not want to be in the book. But it's pretty much like a biography of my mother's life, my brother's life, my life, and it's like it's totally something totally intriguing and totally different. It's not something that is just going to just like blow through the wind. And I already know that from higher places. And I just also want to say this. Like, I didn't come on here to bash Samantha. I just came on here
Take
to
your
add
time.
some
Take your
truth.
time. Take your time.
I came on here to add some truth because she makes a lot of false accusations about people. She puts a lot of people that are all in her corner. She got all these people helping her out, people willing to get her a place, provide her a place for. I was going to front her the money for a place. And, I knew she would have paid me back. She did pay me back some of my money that I've given her for, like, to stay in the hotel room. But it's like she just wasn't appreciative. She was going behind my back, talking about me. That's how she does. She goes back, like, that shit's so 90s, so femme queen, going back and forth saying, like, just making up things, causing unnecessary confusion amongst people that are really all on your team. Instead of having us all work together to really help you out, you would rather just have us all beefing and just have us at your disposal instead of everyone getting along drama free, helping you grow. You want to cause a division amongst all the people in your life that are really helping you out. Like, it's just like that's so selfish, and it's just like it's so childish. Like, she just making up things about people that are really helping you out.
I think I did that by accident. The phone called her. Oh my God. I hope she comes right back in. Destiny. But Destiny. Oh my God. Can you hear me? Yeah, yeah.
I can hear you, and they keep asking about Regina, the old lady named Regina that
I'm
used to
trying to
be.
find out what's going on with what is happening with Regina. What has
Yeah,
Regina done?
well, I know she was on both of my pages, and I had to let loose on her to let her know I'm nothing to be toyed with, played with, or dabbled with. I had to let Miss Regina know because Regina assumed Regina is one of Cookie's supporters, longtime supporters, and she supports her through whatever that she's going through for whatever reason. But I had to let her know that I ain't not nothing to be played with. Don't come on my platform with that. And I had to block Miss Regina, the lady who sells the mink oil and so on. So we don't know where Regina is.
Regina has been quite the scandal in my DMs. They had sent me this information and they had sent me this pitiful abandoned home of her. I can tell that it was just someone who was just mad at her or something like that. She's developed some enemies. I can tell
Yes, absolutely.
that. She's definitely developed some enemies. They've been in my inbox with talking about she's being sued by the company's product that she says it's not her product. Is what I was told
Mm.
on my DM. I don't
Yeah,
know.
she's
But
certainly pushing it.
I really don't know. I don't have anything good to say about Regina, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, because they keep in the super chat, keep asking. So yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have no patience. It was a small
uh,
check.
Absolutely. Keep it moving.
That's all I can tell you.
Mm.
Um, in reference to this whole situation, I hope that Destiny can come back. If not, I'm gonna call her in a moment if she does not pop back in here. But what we have this, well, basically what this has been about this evening. There she goes.
Mhm.
Basically this evening we have just basically told the truth. There has been so much. There has been a lot of attention that has been placed. People's hearts have been touched in many places, and there have been different people that have been involved with this individual that have tried to help this individual, and this individual is determined to continue the charade of an addict and an
Mm.
addict in all of this disarray and all of these displays. And the part that makes us speak out is because we let her in our personal space and she violates.
Mhm.
And when you violate someone's personal space, then when it comes to when you dealing with women of our caliber, that's not taken easily or lightly or slightly. We don't
It
play.
shouldn't be.
I
It
hope
should
no
be
one.
hard.
Um, Jaguar has suffered to me out of the three of us that are here the biggest because she is a hardworking talent. She's dedicated, consistent, and focused. And Cookie and her management attacked her based upon her superb notoriety. And when I say superb, is because it's consistent and it's still here today.
Absolutely. Well, it won't happen again. Thank you. It won't happen again. We
Wait.
got work to do. We got work to do.
Oh my God, you gotta make me.
It
Wait.
won't happen.
What happened? I wasn't ready. Shoo. Oh my
Mm-mm.
goodness. Did Destiny
I
leave?
think
What happened, Destiny? Are you? She was here. She's gone. Maybe she'll come back. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to, as you tell me, speak about it. I want you to speak about what's your plans on where you're going, what you're getting ready to get into,
Well,
how you're going to maneuver, and because you've had to overcome accomplishments. You've been pulled back into the ranks and drugged through the coals because of Samantha and her previous management affecting your pages with 100,000. So you have to
absolutely.
rebuild, and people are having to refine you. I see it every time I interact with you.
Yeah.
People refine you. So it's a verified fact that
Yeah.
you had the engagement that you have now. It has not changed. So I hope that you'll allow me to participate in working with you, and we'll continue to work together and do our thing. But I'm gonna let you take over from here. I'm gonna let you take the. We have about 14 minutes left. Um,
Well, I tell you, man, oh my God. I hope the young lady comes back. Her story was very intriguing and interesting and things of that nature. I have a question from Simply Shy TV. How did she attack me? She attacked me through social media, through all of my platforms that I have worked my butt off, as Liz stated earlier, to have and keep. She sent people to block, report, flag any and everything that I even tried to do. Stop bags and things of that nature, stop bookings and things of that nature. People had wanted to gift me certain items. She put a bad thing, like how you put a bad image of a person out there because you don't understand that person. You don't have to attack that person's image or who that person is that person's platform, what they're trying to build. Don't have to block their pages, don't have to report, don't have to. What happened?
No, I said I had to learn that. You're right, though. I love the way you just said that because you don't understand a person's platform or who they are. I love how you said that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, because but I have never spoke to that person. I'm not even spoke on the phone with that person. Never met that person in person, and things of that nature. That person didn't know me from a can of paint, but as in the penitentiary, the person was in the penitentiary on the phone with Jamila and Deacon Darnell, having a whole conversation, telling Jaguar, what is she doing out there? She got to stay in her place. I'm Cookie Tookie. She'll never be Cookie Tookie. I run this. I own it. And that was the Facebook days. Back in the day. So it's just been a long going back and forth thing with
a lot of history.
Yeah, a lot of history with Cookie and I. But Liz, did you take Cookie's money? I think you answered.
Tiana, no. I created it and I made sure that she was straight. Okay. After today, I will not answer this. I will not go into this. No. It was under 10,000. It was 7,500. If not for my penmanship and efforts and consistency and focus, as she was naked, spitting on a 17-year-old boy in front of a store up north, there would be not one dime. She spent over 6 weeks in a hotel at $547 per week. Just the hotel. She received an iPhone, cash and paid for, a total of $261 with tax. She received 3 plane tickets, 2 she missed, 1 round trip for $485. Okay. Her hotel was paid for a week before she got here. Okay. She's received on top of that over $400 just in Ubers and groceries. She did not stay consistent. She acted a fool at the hotel. She sold her phone to a crackhead. She was the crackhead that sold her phone to, I guess, the dealer. And the whole entire iPhone that was paid for, that was unlocked. Anyway, so no, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna. This I will not anymore because I don't have to. And she knew what was going on. She was sent the power of attorney, and she agreed. And I have her on tape several times saying, "Girl, go down there and get the money." It's just so many.
It's just too many. It's just too many inconsistencies.
Yeah, she just needs to go to rehab. She just needs to go to rehab and really rehab. And if I had really knew that, I would have never dealt with her. If I didn't know it was to the depths of what it was, I would have never, ever, ever, ever dealt with her. No, I would not. And I regret because I regret my image that my family has of me and the respect that my son and my sisters and my family have for me has never been affected by me. But it was by her. And I let her. So that is disgusting to me. And I leave it there.
That pathological, a psychopath with pathological behavior, they have a good way of pulling the wool over people's eyes, and they have a good way. That's how Cookie lasts on social media for so long, because Cookie has a good way of pulling the wool over people's eyes and pulling at the heartstrings of people. And once you get what you want, you either discard them or you feel like it's an obligation for you to do certain things for me. And that puts people in a bad space, and it's a pattern when you do it pathologically, when you pathologically lie, when you pathologically use people. That seems to be the pattern. Do you all see the similarities between the young lady Destiny who had came on and the similarities between Miss Elizabeth's story? 2 people can't, and more people before these two individuals can't be telling the same story about this one individual. It's just like a common denominator. Once it keeps happening, it's like a common denominator. This person did this. Oh, she did that to you. She did that to me. She did that to you. Oh, she did that to you. She did that to you. She did that to you. Cookie is good.
Even through all of this, because I can say this, I made my errors in judgment. I won't even say errors in judgments, but I stood where I stood in the race. But I spoke to the Madam TS. We spoke over the phone. We squashed our issue because we didn't have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't agree with, just like any other family member. She didn't agree with me having this person around me. We spoke. We were able to squash it. We were able to determine what it was. We shared our experiences. I was aware of her experiences in the hand that she reached out. And, it made me, I was aware of certain things. So it made me, pretty much know. The situation here is that it's just like this. Samantha has to take responsibility. Samantha has to make the choices and steps. She's in California right now. The best thing that she could do would be able to take herself into a treatment center and get herself the treatment that she needs and really focus and buckle down and shut down. The people have never seen a clean Samantha Jones. Okay? They've never seen that. That might be an option. Other than that, it's over with. If you continue down this path, it's over with. It's done.
How did Cookie get into my accounts? Which account? She didn't get into the Wells Fargo?
So what happened was she didn't get into her accounts Simply Chai TV. So this is 2016, 2018. Instagram had not updated any type of features to where what happens is when you have these algorithms and you have these systems set up, if you have a feature inside of an app or a feature that is a report, they didn't have it censored and they didn't have it diagnosed, they didn't have it broken down into different spectrums, and they didn't have anybody observing a account that had been reported 100 times or 1,000 times under a certain particular specific category. Okay. So now you update to 2020, 2019, they begin to do that. They begin to observe, okay, this person is being reported, let's go look at it. That it would send over. At that point, it was dismantled because they had been flagged so many times under a report abuse of a certain category. Okay. And so that is how Samantha and her management were able to devour Jaguar's pages. Her management reached out to her. I'm not going to get into it. We're in a short time period, but I will let if Jaguar wants to. She.
Oh yeah, her management team had reached out to me way back in the day when I was on Facebook, and they seen every other video Jaguar going viral. And Cookie, I don't know if where Cookie was. They couldn't manage Cookie, couldn't get a hold of Cookie, couldn't find Cookie. Cookie was fighting in the clubs, getting drunk in the clubs, passing out in the clubs. Promoters was angry with Cookie. They were fed up with Cookie back then, and they reached out to me for management and things of that nature. And I was like, should I take a chance? Should I not take a chance? But that one time when Jamila had hit me up, and I said, "This is some bullshit." I just felt in my soul, "It's some bullshit," and I just never did bite the bait or get close with that individual. And then a couple of months later, we found that Cookie was in the penitentiary, and Jamila and Deacon Darnell and Cookie was having a three-way conversation on the phone about me and things of that nature. And it just turned my whole spirit off to that whole team of people.
We're going to conclude this evening, and we're going to leave this right here where it is. Samantha, I suggest that you consider enjoying the environment that you're in and getting the help that you need. They will reach out to you. Humble thyself.
Mm-hmm.
And remember what I said, fucking with me is bad for your health. And I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that everyone has a good evening and has had a good evening. Yeah.
I had fun, Liz. You look absolutely beautiful. You look absolutely stunning.
Well, thank
Yes.
you. Look beautiful yourself, darling. Thank you.
You know how we do. We know how we do.
Libra power, baby. Hey.
Thanks for having me on and everything. And we
That's
got
why
more to do.
we're in Atlanta very soon. We're gonna do some things together. We're not gonna let Corona take our summer, okay?
No.
Things from moving forward. We're done with this path. We have given you the tea. We're moving on.
The whole team.
We're moving on. We're
Moving on.
Honey, we girl, listen. I don't know. I want to. Listen. I'm gonna go to Vegas. I want to go somewhere where it's sunny and some money.
Sunny and some money. I love that. They say Florida, we gonna lay out on a yacht, girls.
Oh,
Whatever.
Wait. Let's get okay. I promised. We done conversation. We let nobody come up. Are we letting anybody come up? Is there anybody? What are we doing? We have 9 minutes left. I'm so sorry, you guys. I did not forget about you.
Shout out to Destiny.
So was Jamila trying to get Jaguar to feel Cookie while she was still locked up?
Absolutely. But I think Jamila had spoken with Cookie, and Cookie wasn't having that either. So it couldn't be with Cookie. It can't be two girls doing whatever. Liz, show us something. They said, show us something. I'm assuming they want to see the outfit that you have on because you stand up and show us all the time.
Okay, wait, listen, because I'm not properly snatched. Hold on.
Hey, Juicy.
Oh, jeez. Yes, it's not properly snatched.
Come through. Come through.
But you know, I mean, when you have a good shoe, you have a good shoe. It's just always a good shoe. So
no.
They always come back and play. Oh, Lord. Well, like I said, I will say this. Jamila called me very calmly like a woman and apologized. I can say that. Cookie doesn't have that happy humility.
Mm-hmm.
And she listen, the things that she have said, a lesser bitch or a stranger.
Yeah. This good. Because Cookie got you to mend some bridges, especially with, Maddie and Jamila. You were able to mend bridges. People create tensions that's not needed. And I'm so happy that, some bridges was mended. And as far as Cookie has a video of Jaguar Ilvermore doing cocaine, that video of Cookie is supposed to be having for me. Haven't she had that video for 3 years now and have not presented it? So don't listen to that foolishness. It's been going on 3 years. That video has supposed to have been presented to you all. Now, if I done it, y'all know I will say it because I'm very outspoken, very vocal, very unapologetic, and I'm not ashamed of too much of anything. So I would have put a video out there. And to each his own. If you take a bump, a tomp, or whatever, that's to each his own.
Thank you, child.
Mm-hmm. That's to each his own. That's to each his own personal decision. Because I just
story. Mm-hmm. No, I was just telling. Go ahead, sis. I'm just commenting on comments as you're talking.
I never did.
Benny, you see your baby Benny. Your baby.
Yeah, I never did it. Hey, Benny. Hey, Benny. Hey, Benny, how you doing? I never did any type.
So graduating, honey.
Didn't he do that?
Yes, he did.
Benny, congratulations. And to all of you all have goals and aspirations and things that y'all want to do. Go out here and do it. Don't let nobody stop you from doing and being and walking in your greatness. They try to stop me all the time from walking my. I'm still got things up my sleeve that I'm going to do. Besides that, I'm going to have to come up with some music because I know you all like when I make music. So I'm going to come up with
listen.
Yes.
Make the music. And I'm going to make you sign the contract. I'm going to manage it. Because you need to
I'm going to make some music. I'm going to make some music.
Right.
They love
it. You need to cut up. People know the damn Sloppy Joe song. It should already be on iTunes. I mean, they know it. They twerk to it.
Yes.
I'm going to talk. We're going to talk. I'm going to give you a list.
Yeah, we're going to talk. Benny said, thank you. Liz.
All right, so we're gonna close this out for the evening. We just want y'all to know here at Juicy Shade, we give the juice in the shade, and we always keep it real. The authenticity of what we created and what was built was never on no foolishness. We support our community 100%.
Absolutely.
We're moving full steam ahead. Nobody is off limits. We got our eyes on you out here in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm going to take y'all out one last time. I'm going to give you just a snippet.
Give it.
A video is coming soon, and you'll be able to enjoy that video on iTunes and the song.
Chill out.
Don't get it confused, I'm ready for the fallout. Leave a bitch bloody and bruised. Who the fuck on the brow now? It's such a shame. It's such a shame. It's such a shame, bitch. It's such a shame. Dirt on my name. Dirt on my name, bitch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you, and we love you, and we appreciate you. And there will be a whole lot more fun to come, baby. I promise you. You'll see me and Jaguar together, cutting up, showing out. We're not letting COVID-19, Corona, or anything else stop us, honey.
Stop our summer. Thank you all for joining. Bye-bye.